Welcome, folks, to the Business Resource Zone. My name is John Vitale. I'm the premier business resource for Greater St. Louis market. Today with me is a great friend of mine, Christopher Lawrence Stone, podcast host, motivational speaker, insurance broker, and business broker. I scoured my connections to find you the best of the best, and today we're going to educate you on commercial insurance. Chris, explain to the audience the difference between an independent broker and a captive agent.
That's a good question, John. So the difference between an independent broker and a captive agent, the main difference obviously is a captive agent only has one market. So that means one insurance carrier to go to for your client. Different carriers specialize in different businesses. So it's very important as an independent to have multiple carriers to be able to take care of your client, make sure they go to the right place.
So Chris, what are the differences between a startup needing commercial insurance or somebody scaling up or somebody selling?
So the insurance needs for a business startup are very important because when a business starts up, they don't know what they need and they don't know how fast that they're going to be able to scale that business. So they're going to have different needs. It could be cyber, EPLI insurance. There's all sorts of different needs that these clients could have. And a lot of captive carriers don't offer these coverages. So when you're scaling a business, it's important to have an agent that has options and can grow with you as you grow.
So Chris, come renewal time, typically I get calls from customers saying, why do they need to know what I'm doing at this point in time for insurance renewals? Explain the differences for a startup, somebody looking to scale or whatnot in reference to what does that mean to them renewing their insurance?
So when it comes to a business, what should they look at year to year? It's important to mention as they're growing. So as you're gathering more employees, you're gathering, sometimes you got 1099 versus W-2, and there's a lot of underlying coverages. And the two big ones right now, John, are EPLI, which is employer liability insurance, kind of termed otherwise as sexual harassment insurance, right? The other one is cyber, right? It's not if it's gonna happen, when, and if you're processing credit cards, you got 100 client files, personal information, social security numbers, etc. It's very important to have cyber coverage in place. And so some people, when they start a business, they get insurance and they just set it and forget it. But it's really important that your policy is detailing the growth as your company is growing. They should match. And the only way to be able to do that is have access to more than one option. And that's what separates an independent broker versus a captive agent.
Lastly, obviously you're in the brokerage world as well for the businesses. Explain the synergies between the insurance broker and the business broker side of things.
So I get that question a lot, John. So how does my insurance brokerage relate to my business brokerage? So I'll give you a little bit of a story. I had a client that came to me that was looking to exit in their business. So we started succession planning. It's about a 2-year exit. And we reviewed her insurance. We didn't have it currently. We reviewed her insurance and realized that she was paying way too much for work comp insurance. And as we reviewed it, realized she wasn't getting contractor credits, wasn't rated properly, her mod was incorrect. Once we fixed these 3 things, we were able to save her over $60,000 a year. So when it comes to the sale of a business, now we're being able to add that business down to that extra income down to the bottom line. So it makes it more attractive when you go to sell your business. So it's very beneficial when you're talking about business brokerage to be able to look at the insurance component as well. And we do both those in-house at the Blue Collar Broker.
Chris, thank you so much for coming out today. Really appreciate it. I know my followers appreciate all the education that you gave them today. How did they get a hold of you?
Awesome question. I appreciate you, John, for coming out. I always love spending time with you, and I know you love educating your audience. So thebluecollarbroker.com is where you can find all the services that all my many companies offer, as well as Christopher Lawrence Stone on LinkedIn. Chris at thebluecollarbroker.com is the email, and 314-922-4409 is the cell phone. 7 days a week.
Fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for attending today, and have a wonderful week.